All right, guys, we are working from inside of the closed guard. I'm breaking the guard. Open my legs a little bit since I'm going to talk so that Derek can not have tension. So what we're talking about today, we've been talking about how we open up the closed guard, get around it and get to cross side, side control, top side, whatever you want to call it. The first thing we always have to do here is be able to break open the legs. So today we're going to talk about some techniques we can use against people who either have stronger legs, flexible hips, or longer legs, or some combination of those things. Someone like Tom, who teaches Monday and Friday mornings, who's got super long legs and he's got crazy flexible hips, it can be really difficult to open his guard at times because it's harder to take up space. Whereas if someone's shorter and strong, it can be harder at first, but it's easier to pop that open. So we're going to talk about some modifications we can make to deal with that. The first thing we're going to talk about is just doing a little pop with our back rather than a steady static push that builds. So as always, we have a floating hand. We don't have any weight in it. We don't want to commit to that, though I will talk about using a hand on the hip against flexible people. So I'm going to come back. I've got my hand inside the knee here. The first thing I want to do, and one of the things some people are having trouble with, is they're starting to push here. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, but it's going to take more strength in order for you to break that lock that's apart, and you're fighting directly into the angle of his feet that are crossed behind your back. Whereas if I lean over and I wedge directly out, I open up some space right away. Now, what I want to do is drive at a 45-degree angle down towards the mat and try to open his guard up. We would have a cat back position. My hips would be tilted up. But one of the things that can happen is as I do that, he's just holding on so strong. So I'll kind of lean back. And one of the things I've told you guys is not to do things like this because you can get tipped over. But I will do that in a combination with rounding my spine as much as possible to create a moment of pressure that hopefully breaks open his legs. So I'm going to take up as much space as I can. Imagine I'm pushing here really hard. I'm not able to get it. I'm going to sink down into it at once and stick my back out into his crossed legs to try to break it. And I'm able to get through. I immediately have to come forward in order to make sure that he's not able to get us into an open guard and knee shield guard here, because then I just traded one problem for another. So again, floating hand, there's no pressure in it. The only job of this hand is in case he wants to sit up, keep him down on the ground. I'm splitting his hips with my knees. I come back, wedge, get in my nice cat back position. I'm safe. He can't hit me. If I needed to, I could hit him. Take up all the space. We're leaning back, pop, and come forward. I'm biting this in. I'm not just here, right? I'm getting here, driving to the ground. You feel like you can go anywhere? No, he's pretty stuck, right? One time on the other side. Floating hand. Come back, wedge it open, take up all the space, pop. I didn't come forward that time, but that's the basis of it. It's exactly the same as the opening we've been doing. We're just adding in that little pop to try to get through. Does anybody have any questions on it? All right, let's partner up and run it. We've got a couple new people. Let's make sure we get some experienced people with them. One of the things that can happen from time to time as you do this, and sometimes you can physically feel like, hey, I got further back, I've opened up more space, but you're not able to totally get out. So if I'm gonna do this, if I don't feel the legs break, I do it again. Usually 2 times, sometimes up to 3, but you should feel that you're getting further back on them. But what we're not doing, what I saw some people kind of doing, is doing it once and then coming back up and trying to do it again. That's not gonna do anything. So I'm gonna over-exaggerate how much room I'm taking up, but if I were to do this and try, I'm gonna go again and try to push further back with the second one and the third one. You see how I'm physically coming back to do it? If I do it real time, it's just gonna look like this, and I'm just kind of pumping it and moving further back. The other caveat is, he's not here today, but we had somebody last night with super flexible hips. So he was able, his knees were just like going down to the ground. If that happens to me, I will take my other hand and put it on the opposite hip, and I'll push the hip down as I do it. So even just doing that, you see how he opened up there? Basically, I have this ramp of my legs going down. I'm pushing his butt down, which is forcing force on his crossed legs back there, and it's going to force him open. So I just come here and here, and it makes it a lot easier, right? But against somebody that's super strong, especially, we can pump a little bit. If you're smaller, doing this to a bigger person, that pump's going to help a lot, or someone with long legs or super flexible like we talked about. All this is the exact same thing. We're just moving further back, taking a little more space. Any questions? All right, guys, so we're gonna go over a different guard break here. One that is pretty traditional, but with some modifications, and not one I personally do a ton. For me, I have really tight hips, so the limited ability I have to move my other leg back means it's something I don't do as much. But against really tall guys, I will resort to this. So what I want to do first is I want to realign myself so that my knee is in line with Derek's spine. So I'm going to move it to the middle of his body. As I do that, Derek's inherently going to get his hips lower. I'm going to put both hands on his hips in order to keep him there as I sit back. So I'm going to come forward. My arms are going to be locked in. I have a hand kind of on each hip bone, and I set down on Derek here. This leg is going to come back here. Now from here, I'm going to put all my weight down into Derek's hips. I'm going to use the same cat back I used before, and I'm just going to start pushing back until I can pop his guard. From there, I'll decide which side I'm going to go, which is almost always inevitably going to be this side, unless I were to knee slice this way. Come in and begin my pass. So other side, I would come in, put this knee in, step back. As I push back and sit out, it's almost like I'm sitting back onto my heel, in this case on my right leg. And I'm trying to drive that pressure, right? Back to this side. That's what it would look like. Again, I have such limited, even doing that for me is super tight. If you're more flexible and you can get to like here, that's better, and keep yourself centered. It's just not something that I physically can do. I mean, if you're gonna be born super handsome and smart and strong, maybe you're not flexible, you know? Just how it goes. To the middle, back, down. Any questions? All right, let's run it.